What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Crypto Zombie. First and foremost, I have to say thank you so much to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys are awesome, and shout out to everybody that joined me on my midday live stream yesterday. That was really fun. Very different for me. I usually don't do live streams that early, so a little bit of a different feel for me personally, but I had a really great time. And also, I wanted to just remind everyone that I had this poll up and running on my Twitter about what you guys want to see more of on the channel. And it looks like, granted, there was only 268 votes. There's 1,500 subscribers on the channel, so I don't really consider this to be 100% accurate, but it looks like that the general majority would prefer coin reviews, picks, and crypto news, essentially. And then 12%, 11%, almost neck and neck for interviews and ICO reviews. So what that is telling me is that we are shifting away, at least on my channel, for interest for ICO reviews and interviews. However, I might be able to tackle this by doing ICO interviews. Maybe. That's something to look forward to. But in the meantime, guys, I just wanted to say thanks for participating to that. I definitely highly value what you guys have to say. So moving forward, I just wanted to look a little bit at the markets today. You know, it's really just been a bloodbath. It's really tough to say, guys. I mean, it's not like one particular, it's not like anyone is a genius investor right now and we're all just completely up and oh, I missed the boat. You know what I mean? There's some pumps going on, but for the most part, it's generally just kind of, it's a downtrend, but I think that a lot of people are accumulating, in my opinion, especially with Bitcoin in general and some of the higher cap coins. Obviously Neo's taken a huge dip, but like I said, I saw people complaining for the past month about, damn, I wish I got into Neo. It's too freaking high. I can't afford it, blah, 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 blah. I mean, we saw Neo hit almost like $190. So this is more than a 50% pullback, guys. So for anybody that was interested in getting into some of these, top projects, if you're looking to get into Stellar, EOS, Monero, even Litecoin, these are all good potential options moving forward, guys. So, I just wanted to point that out there again. And the thing is, too, we were talking yesterday a lot about ICOs. And as far as ICOs are concerned, they are very, very risky. And we are seeing a little bit of a decrease in the interest in ICOs for some people because of the fear with the regulation, the riskiness, the scams. Plus, let's be real, a lot of people tapped out a lot of their reserve fiat funds during this bear market, which we were hoping would go up. Bitcoin hit $6,000. We thought that was the bottom, but instead Bitcoin bounced back up. We saw a lot of the alts lose their value because it went into Bitcoin. If you guys remember, not too long ago, not even a week and a half ago, we were in the 30%, and now we're, in 42.7% Bitcoin. So yeah, that's just something you got to look at and keep in mind. But on the idea of ICOs, okay, we were talking about this, and actually, before I get into that, I was looking at this post on Reddit, and this user, Valoon4, was discussing how, when you look back at the prices, the majority of people don't really care about whether or not it crashed from this to that. They mostly just care about how close it is to the all-time high. And that's when everybody wants to FOMO back into it. So everyone is trying to predict, nobody really knows. They're saying it could be a month, it could be 3 years. I don't think it's going to be that long, guys. I think that's crazy. I've seen this type of FUD over and over again. It's not anything new. You actually start to get kind of bored after a while. It does suck when you're looking at your portfolio and your portfolio's down, but this FUD is not anything new. You know what I'm saying? And seeing prices drop like this, seeing these types of corrections, seeing the big players take their profits, and then seeing newbies sell for losses, that's all part of the game, guys. History has shown that those who hodl tend to persevere over the rest. However, I do suggest, not financial advice, obviously, guys, but if you do find that, now if you're down now, just chill. There's nothing you can really do. But if you've recently invested in a coin and you find yourself, starting to lose some of that initial investment, the general consensus is around 10% loss usually is when they would suggest for you to consolidate and maybe sell, put in a stop loss. So that's up to you guys. Obviously, protect your money. You know, there's always USDT, which regardless of whether or not it's actually backed by anything real, the truth is that it does work as a tool for preserving your fiat ratio. So until any bad news comes out of that camp, I would consider that to still be a great hedge if you're concerned about losing what you have right now. Now, if you have come in with less than you can afford to lose, then it really doesn't matter. So a lot of us, you know, we might be down, but the thing is, you know, today, what is today? Friday, right? So it's payday. I'm sure somebody's getting paid. You know, maybe don't put it all in. You know, just being real here. You know, if you're looking at a coin that's taking a really nice dip, you know, put in a small percentage, put in a tiny amount of your earnings. You know, not enough where it's going to affect your everyday living, because that's just crazy. You know, so another thing I wanted to talk about too was, you know, people like to relate Bitcoin to this whole tulip mania craze that happened in the 17th century. For those of you who don't know, real cut and dry, tulip mania was this big thing where tulips essentially were being used as a currency, and they became one of the most valuable forms of payment basically at one point, and then it totally crashed because people realized that tulips were renewable and they were essentially useless. But I wouldn't compare that to crypto, because crypto is a finite amount, whereas a tulip bulb, you can literally plant it, and then next year you get another flower, and then you get more bulbs, and you can plant it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really consider that to be the same thing. I've read these types of articles over and over and over again, and quite frankly, they are beginning to bore me. So let's get on to one of the topics that I wanted to speak about today, if you guys didn't know by the title of my video. So what is going on with ICOs? Are ICOs dead? Are ICOs going away? Are they just on a hiatus? So there's this article over here that came out on CoinDesk, and they say, so long ICOs, hello airdrops. And, you know, they talk about how Ontology recently airdropped 1,000, you know, of their tokens to each one of their mailing list people. They go on to talk about OmiseGo, how OmiseGo originally had the airdrop back in the day to anybody that was holding more than 0.1 Ethereum. And what we might see moving forward is a lot of these companies taking more of an airdrop approach rather than an ICO approach, for the simple fact that it kind of gets around a lot of the legalities, because if it's an airdrop, you're basically getting it for free. So you didn't pay for it. You know, you didn't invest in it. You didn't buy a security. It's essentially an airdrop. You just got it for free. So it's a gift. Really, is that's what it is. So we might see a lot of these projects moving forward leaning more towards rewards and airdrops instead of ICOs, due to the recent, essentially bad press that we've received from ICOs. Real quick, I just wanted to touch on this. It got brought up yesterday. So Balina sold his icon. There was a little bit of a discrepancy with things going on with the group. They were calling him a paid shiller, and he decided to respectfully decline. The team doesn't want him associated with the project, etc. So, yep, that's that news from the Balina camp. I really don't care. Doesn't really affect me. Icon is a brilliant project, and selling your icon at, what is it, $2 and something cents right now, that's a horrible idea. So I would personally, for me, this is an accumulation period. And, you know, if I had more fiat on the side, I would definitely be looking at Icon, because Icon, yeah, they had their hype, but they really haven't even had a chance to really promote themselves the way that these other projects have. And I think as soon as they get out there and people really see what Icon is doing moving forward, especially when they do the updated white paper that gets released, a lot of people are concerned about how that the proof of stake system is going to be working within the Icon, you know, their reward system, you know, Neo, Gas, Icon. Are they going to have master nodes? So I think once that information gets released, you're going to see a definite big run up in Icon. So yeah, I don't know, Ian, you sold it. I hope you, I mean, he got involved in the ICO for 11 cents. I'm sure he did fine, but I wouldn't sell my Icon right now. Which is funny, on the opposite spectrum, talking about ICOs, Bercy wants to make Paris the capital of ICOs, right? So, yeah, so essentially the government wants to legislate in the PAC law on fundraising in cryptocurrencies. The regulatory framework will be one proposed by the AMS, an optional authorization scheme with or without Visa. it looks like I have to sign up to read more of this article, which I'm not going to do. But I think that's interesting. On one hand, you have countries banning it, and on the other hand, you have countries that want to be the capital of ICOs. So we've seen this before with some of the other countries. Also, you know, Slovenia, they have a lot. They're also very invested in crypto. Japan as a whole, I would say they're pretty bullish on crypto. So let's talk about some NEO news. Now, this isn't exactly brand new news, but the developments are pushing forward at a rapid rate. So if you guys don't know who NEL is, NEL, it's the New Econo Labs. So you can essentially look at them as the Western version of the eastern version of City of Zion, right? So City of Zion is kind of like the Western developers for NEO, and now you have NEL or NEL, which is the Eastern developers, and they are working very, very close to the release of NEODUN, the hardware wallet for NEO. But it's not only going to support NEO; it'll also be able to support other things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, etc. So, I mean, the question is, do we really need another hardware wallet that's focused specifically on NEO? I mean, the Ledger Nano S works really well. I'm just saying that right out loud. But it's, you know, options, and I'm interested in seeing what else they do pushing forward, because for, you know, Ledger already has NEO. So for NEODUN to become more used than a Ledger, there's a lot of competition, because Ledger, you know, you can store your ARC on a Ledger. You could store your PIVX on a Ledger. You could store POSW on a Ledger, you know, so that's some high competition there. But I just wanted to bring that to you guys. That's really cool. Also, in other news, so NeoGas has been updated. The gas now gets calculated based on average block generation times of the last 1,000 blocks. So they're heavily improving, and the blocks are getting generated faster, which means that you're going to be receiving more gas for NEO. But on the flip side, once we hit the 2 million block mark, then the gas reward is going to be decreased from 8 gas to 7 gas. So it might kind of just balance itself out. You know what I mean? Like, if the blocks are getting generated faster, but they're dropping it from 8 gas to 7 gas per block, I don't know if that's really going to make much of a difference. But figured I'd bring that to you guys. Also, for those of you that are interested in SIRIN Labs, I did a video on them a while ago. So they have the, you know, they're working on having that phone where you can essentially go from encrypted to non-encrypted. They're going to actually have an actual toggle switch on the back. You know what I'm saying? Totally encrypted. You know, no one can get in, no one can get out. But you can check the video out. But there were these pictures circulating of them talks with Huawei, which is this company right here, and they actually have these phones that are really popular in the East. Well, you know, I mean, are they more popular than you know, Apple or, you know, an Android? I don't know about that, but I know that they do have a marketplace out there. So there is rumors that they could be partnering together. Nothing official, but there are these pictures circulating around, so that could be really good news for SIRIN Labs token holders. Just want to throw that out there. Also, this guy right here.
Company took
all the source code
from Android.
So this is Ron Chen from Elastos. Now, shout out to Matt Weaver for showing me this video. So this was over at the Elastos San Francisco meetup, which also, if you guys are curious, oh yeah, look right here. It actually showed up. Chico Crypto. He actually has a video where you guys can watch. It's a little over an hour long, and it's Elastos essentially talking about their future, talking about their ideas. But this video right here, which was uploaded by TI South Africa, they actually show Ron Chen, and he has a phone, and he's showing a live demo of Elastos, and then afterwards there's a good 10 minutes of just straight up Q&A. And he goes on to answer questions. I thought this was a really great video. Obviously, this is I would assume, a not very well-known channel, so I will leave a link in the description for anyone that's interested. I thought it was really cool. I love watching tech. You know, I'm very interested in seeing the progression, so check that out if you're an Elastos fan. Also, in other news, Bitmain, who is, you know, the giant miners of, you know, you have Jihan Wu, I mean, yeah, there was the whole Bitcoin Cash debacle back in the day, but essentially they are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Bitcoin mining farms, and they just announced a brand new mining machine, the Antminer X3, that will also be able to mine other cryptocurrencies such as Monero, and there's a lot of technical mumbo-jumbo in here. I'm not too familiar with all this stuff. Maybe you guys know. I never did any home mining, so I don't know much about that, but it does look like this is going to be a really powerful ASIC miner. You know, is it going to lead to potentially more centralization in Bitcoin moving forward? Probably, maybe. But I think the fact that they're still continuing to come out with this hardware, they're still continuing to develop, Bitcoin mining is not going away anytime soon. And so for people that think that the market's just going to go to shit and everyone's just going to throw all their money away and they're just going to give up, you got to realize the big players that are involved in here, especially people like Bitmain. You know, you have these companies that have a lot of money invested into the mining of Bitcoin. And there's a lot of powerful players in the back that don't want to see these markets fail, don't want to see these markets fall. So, you know, just understand there's a lot of people invested in this. So for people that say crypto's going to zero, no, it's not. Trust me. There are way too many people involved in this. Also, Sierra Leone just ran the first blockchain-based election, which I thought was pretty cool. There was a highlighted post that said the goal is ultimately to reduce voting costs by cutting out paper ballots as well as reducing corruption in the voting process. So the tech was created by Agora. Leonardo Guimar, I suppose, is the guy. And they say that Sierra Leone wishes to create an environment of trust with the voters in a contentious election, especially looking at how the election will be publicly viewed post-election. I agree. I think we're all pretty tired of pulling the lever and doing the paper ballots, you know what I'm saying? And also, how many times do we have an election in the U.S.? And it's like, wait, but did you guys double check Florida? Did you double check Florida? You know what I mean? Like, come on, we're beyond this. Let's make it a little more transparent. So I think that's really awesome moving forward. And, you know, you could see companies potentially like ClearPoll moving into these types of spaces. Horizon State, they're also working towards that transparency, you know, with voting, communities, and all that thing. So that's really awesome moving forward. Also, somebody pointed out that they got this email from PayPal saying that PayPal noticed that essentially you are dealing with cryptocurrencies. We ask that you cease any activity that results in the trading or transfer of cryptocurrency. I don't know the validity of this, but I personally had my PayPal account linked to my Coinbase account, and I do know that they ended up turning off the ability to cash out into PayPal. I didn't receive an email like this, so I don't really know if this is true, if this is fact or fiction. I have no idea, but I do know that PayPal has stopped allowing I don't know about all U.S. citizens, but I know me personally, they won't let me cash out to PayPal anymore. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's what's going on over the PayPal world. And then another thing, this has kind of been circulating around. This is another one of those, it's kind of a rumor still at this point, but they're thinking that South Korea might be looking to reverse their bans on ICOs. And they said with the recent actions already in place, it's almost as if South Korea is gearing up to bring back ICOs to the country. This has been confirmed by the Korea Times, a business-centered media company founded by Hankook, one of the country's biggest newspapers. Okay. The Korea Times also added that the government is willing to enable ICOs and investors to join in token sales in the event that the government can access data on capital inflows from both individual investors and retail traders in the ICO market. So it looks to me basically, you know, KYC, anti money laundering laws. I mean, this is the same stuff we've been seeing over and over and over again. So yeah, there is a potential that South Korea could reverse ICOs. I think that they should. I think the U.S. should. I think people should be able to do whatever the hell they want with their money. I think if you want to throw away your money into an ICO, that's the beauty of a free market. I mean, if you can go to Atlantic City and, you know, lose all your, you know, drop $1,000 on the roulette table and lose that in a matter of 3 seconds at the Trump Plaza, Trump Hotel, whatever, it's a casino, why can't you buy an ICO and potentially lose your money? It's no difference. You know, you're investing in something that you really don't know. You just kind of believe. Like, I believe Lucky 14, right? Like, I believe in this company. To me, it's very similar because you're giving money to something that doesn't, you know, you don't even have a project back, right? And that was one of the big conspiracies that we were talking about yesterday is what are these ICOs doing with their money? You know what I'm saying? Like when you pay for when you invest in an ICO, they have all your Ether, they have all your Bitcoin, they have all your Neo or whatever it is that you're paying for it. But then what do they do with that money? Now, a lot of them, they have these lockup periods, but that's mostly for the tokens. That's for the investors. What about the companies themselves? You know what I mean? So, for example, EOS. I mean, EOS has had a year-long ICO. That's a lot of money that they've raised. What are they doing with that money? Does anybody know? Are they being held accountable for it? I mean, for all we know, EOS could just be consistently dumping their free Ether every single day, driving down the price, cashing out to fiat. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. So that's that thing moving forward. Also, I wanted to point out yesterday, if you guys saw the congressional hearing, this guy right here, Mr. Tom Cryptodaddy, Tom Cryptodaddy Emmer, they're calling him. He's been he was one of my favorite guys. He was basically saying, like, every time the government, is it really necessary to get involved? Are you going to be ruining it? Let's see if I have a little bit of a clip right here.
I think where I want to go this morning after listening to you is I find myself maybe not with my colleagues.
Yeah, it's a little loud right now. It's not going to work with the audio, but I'll drop a link in the description. Check this out. It's about a minute and 45 seconds long. And he basically is like, can you just let the space grow? Can you allow it to figure out who it is first? Can you allow blockchain and crypto to figure out what it is, what its place is, before you just essentially instantly come in and just, rule down, throw down the hammer and just come in with the regulation? So I really thought that was cool. I'll leave a link. Check it out, guys. Also, Money 2020, Singapore Central Bank reaffirmed its commitment to using blockchain for international payments in its speech yesterday. So, yeah, the MAS is basically saying that, remittances using blockchain are an area of considerable interest, especially to Singapore and their neighbors, which would include Japan, South Korea. They've had similar schemes, banks competing with crypto industry projects, such as that announced by the major South Korean exchange BitHum and U.S. payment gateway BitPay this week. So they are saying that they may be looking to integrate a little bit. So they say that the challenge that the Singapore's project UBIN has set itself to solve is to use blockchain technology to enable entities across jurisdictions to make payments to one another without intermediaries and with great speed and efficiency at a lower risk cost. Yeah, basically, I mean, that was the whole idea, wasn't it? I mean, wasn't that Satoshi's vision? So, yeah, I'm glad people are realizing that because that was the whole idea in the first place. Another thing, too, I wanted to talk about was Philippine Senate. They're making harsher penalties for cryptocurrency crimes. Now, this isn't anything serious. You're not going to go to jail or anything if you are investing in crypto. They're talking about serious issues. Internet crimes, child pornography, laundering, things of that nature, these scams, Bitcoin potential faucets, whatever they're trying to do. So they're really just looking to crack down on the real heavy use of cryptocurrencies in crime, which I don't really consider that to be any different than just cracking down on crime. You know what I mean? If I pay a hitman with dollars or I pay a hitman in Bitcoin, I paid somebody to murder somebody. That's a crime, no matter how you look at it. So basically all this is saying to me is that cryptocurrencies are accepted as, forms of payment, money laundering, etc. So that's not really anything too crazy. But then the final thing I wanted to say was that Weiss Ratings actually has a list of their 12 weakest coins, which is funny to me because, I mean, look at the things. They have Golden, Matchpool, Novacoin, Quark, Rise. I don't think Rise is that bad. Electronium got an E+. But yeah, as far as Weiss Ratings goes, I don't think anybody takes this too seriously. And yeah, have you been to the last pages on CoinMarketCap? I would say that there's a lot worse coins than this. But hey, it's Weiss Ratings. They're professionals, so we should just believe everything that they say. But anyway, guys, that being said, that's the news for today. I wanted to let you guys know this weekend, I'm actually going to be in the city, so I might not be able to upload as frequently, but I will have my laptop with me. I might do a live stream. Unfortunately, you guys are going to have to, look at me inside the box because I'm not going to have my green screen with me, but I'll be there over the weekend. I'm actually going to see the Midnight play. They're a really cool band, and then I'm going to the St. Patrick's Day parade, and then I'm hanging out with some friends. So yeah, you guys don't even really care about that. I don't know why I'm telling you what I'm doing this weekend, but just in the event that I don't quite update as much, I might be busy, but I'm definitely going to try as much as I can. So thank you guys for coming back to my channel. You guys are amazing. Yeah, bull market, bear market, I don't care. I'm here. It's crypto. It's real. I'm doing it. I'm sticking it out. I'm not selling. So thanks for everyone that keeps coming back and watching my videos. You guys are amazing. You guys are the true hodlers, and I can't wait to see some of these faces in a year when we just laugh at this FUD that's going on right now. I just really think this is just going to be one of the most laughable moments in Bitcoin history, when we all thought it was going to die and cryptos were going to going to zero. Like, come on, guys. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. So that being said, thank you for coming back to my channel. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. If you guys haven't gotten subscribed, get subscribed, join the Telegram, drop me comments. I love to read everything you guys have to say. And until next time, stay crypto and peace out.